Well, good day once again. Jason Haines here from QPL. We're right here in Narendra and Temora with another look around the Riverina at what's been happening with another edition of the Haines Report. Well, certainly was good to see a little bit of rain floating around this week, where our air seeders are just about finished. There's a few people still with a few crops to put in yet, but that's largely coming to a finish now. So, welcome a few millimetres this week. Would have been nice to see a little bit more, but hopefully there's much more to come. In the cotton space, there's still a bit to go there. They're probably not thankful for the rain at the moment. They'd like to get it out of the paddock, but no doubt they'll get their opportunity fairly soon. From all reports, it's been a pretty mixed result across the board with cotton, especially that heat right in the middle of summer there, and some early cold snaps has certainly affected some crops. Now, in markets this week, we'll start off with water. Water trading's been pretty soft over the last week. There's not too many trades been going on. We're still looking at numbers sort of between $500 and $550 a megalitre for Murray and Murrumbidgee temporary water. There's not too much volume being moved there, so it's hard to get a real grasp on where that number is just at the moment. In fact, you'd have to say, unless you've got forward contracts for things like cotton at the moment, many producers are taking a wait-and-see approach to see how much they'll be putting in next year. Now, during the week, H2OX has released their 2019-20 financial year forward outlook for water prices and trading. Obviously, fairly speculative based on the season. Probably no surprises here, low allocations. I suppose the big note for this coming season, which is to be expected, is there's very little carryover as compared to last year, and that's largely due to our allocations. And I suppose all this means that unless you've got a permanent planting or a forward contract at the moment, you're probably sitting on your hands waiting to see what the season will do before you make a determination on what you're likely to do next year. In livestock markets this week, well, the big news was the record price there at Wagga, $337.20 for fat lambs yesterday for a pen of lambs. Now, they're reporting this is an increase of between $13 and $30 a head. Wagga yesterday has been recorded at 921 cents per kilo carcass weight, which is absolutely exceptional for this time of year. We all expected this is probably going to start probably another month's time, but it's good to see such a strong response this early in the season, and probably a good indication that good lambs are going to be very hard to find. Now, across other markets, the Eastern Young Cattle Indicator was sitting at 471.75 cents per kilo carcass weight. Now, it is interesting that the Western Young Cattle Indicator is still higher, but is dropping at the moment. It's 493, and it'll be interesting to see how long it'll be before we're starting to shift cattle across the Nullarbor. The National Trade Lamb Indicator was pinned at 878 cents per kilo, but obviously that local market is a lot higher, and the mutton job's still strong at 584 cents per kilo. In rural property this week, well, it is all going to be about livestock and taking that secure position going forward, making sure you can finish those stock. I wanted to probably go back down and remind yourself of that dairy space. We do have a couple of properties we didn't manage to move down in that Riverina. We've got some large-scale properties like Rosedale and Tikkawarra. Now, I have said it before, and it's probably a good time to have a look at them again. These are forage-producing machines, these properties. They're set up for cell grazing. They've got the water supplied to the paddock. And you'd have to say in this current environment, it's probably a good time to take a position in these. There is a bit of interest now coming from overseas, looking to get back into the dairy space, and I think this job's probably going to kick. If we can get this water sorted out in the next 12 months, this dairy job will kick again. So there's an opportunity there on Tikkawarra out at Warcool. It's coming in at 1,652 acres. It is underpinned by 732 megs of bore water and 851 MIL shares. Now, this is pretty reasonably priced country out there, and the big beauty of Tikkawarra there is it's not only a 50-unit road tree and an income-producing business, but it's got an 800 head feed pad out the back there. Now, you could be milking on it, or at the moment you could be fattening stock. The feedlots are full at the moment, and is a position or an opportunity to fill your own feedlot and be trading some beef at the moment. Now, Tikkawarra does come with a full complement of silage. There's a couple of 1,000 tonne of silage there under cover at the moment, and you can step into this property at the moment with the feed in hand and really capitalise on the current prices and where they're going to go. Everyone can see that well-finished stock are going to get a premium this season, and it could be an opportunity here to take a really good stake in the market. For something on a smaller scale, I've got another 500 acres down at Finley there. It does have approximately 500 megalitres of spear point water available as well. So this nice little package there. You do have the opportunity to both irrigate from underground and with MIL water. And I'd encourage you to give me a call on this one today. The owners are pretty keen to move on. Thirdly, let's jump over the river down to Woollahra. This is a 575 acre property. It has absolutely first class irrigation. And again, it's underpinned by a 250 millilitre bore and Goulburn Murray water. So this Goulburn Murray water is much more reliable than the New South Wales water at the moment. Again, this property is set up as a dairy at the moment. It does have first-class infrastructure, including 3 houses and a 50-unit rotary dairy. But it would equally as well make a very reliable beef fattening operation there for somebody that wanted to take a position here as well. Now, all these properties are very well laid out, and if you do the numbers on them, they're much more attractive than going and spending $4,000 or $5,000 an acre on something in a higher rainfall zone at the moment. Also, this month we do have kicking off the Wallaroo clearing sale. It kicks off on the 11th of June. Now, you'd have to say this is first-class equipment. Glenn has done an exceptional job there in looking after all this gear, and you won't be disappointed. There's quite an extensive list of cropping equipment on this property, as well as potato harvesting and processing equipment. I do encourage you to jump online, have a look at this. It'll be an online auction running from the 11th of June. So please have a look at the catalogue, and you can absolutely bid with confidence on this one because this equipment won't let you down. Some other interesting news this week. Some interesting websites in the tech space at the moment. There's a new website out at the moment from Industry New South Wales. It's a trading platform that shows you all historical trades and water prices over time on all the Murrumbidgee and Murray and bore water systems. So if you're looking at doing budgets and long-term budgets, this trade dashboard is quite a good reference point, especially if you're looking at jumping into that irrigation space. It's a good opportunity for you to see where we've come from and what prices are and what you might be able to budget on going forward. Secondly, this week, well, this is an interesting one. I just read this morning, there's now a new breath test for cows. As an alternate to preg testing. So there's a farm up in the Hunter Valley that's trialling that at the moment, that you'll be able to preg test your cows with a simple breath test. This is interesting technology, and you have to say a lot safer than getting in the crush with our traditional methods. Now, as always, if you'd like any more information on any one of our properties here today or any other information, please give me a call at any time on 0488 594 450. Springtime's just around the corner, so if you'd like to present your property for the spring market, let's start talking now and we can make a plan to present it at its best and get you that top dollar. I'll talk to you all again next week. Cheers.